everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is MTG Ghoul Dude, and now today we're going to be digging into Alara Reborn in our Digging Up the Past series. If you're new to the channel, Digging Up the Past is a series I started, and we're going from alpha all the way to our current sets and seeing what zombies we have now and zombies in the past. So a little bit about Alara Reborn before we get started. Alara Reborn was the last set in the Alara block expansion. It's the first and so far only set in the Magic history that contains entirely multicolored cards, giving it sometimes the nickname the Gold Standard or many other ones. You can come up with your own gold card related nickname for it if you want to. Another little quirk of this set was there's actually no lands or colorless artifacts in the set, so you only ever pulled multicolored cards. So let's start us up with Rexus Grimblade for a hybrid blue, red, and black. It's a 2/1 zombie warrior, and as long as you control another multicolored permanent, which if you're playing in this set standard, it was pretty easy. It got +1/+1 and had death touch. So a 2/1 for blue, red, black. It's not bad. And then it got +1, so it'd be a 3/2. I count that as pretty good. Vidolkin Ghoul for a black and a blue. It's a Vidolkin zombie for a 1/1. And whenever it becomes blocked, defending player loses 4 life. So I really wouldn't see why they would block it unless you gave it, an evasion ability or some other way to keep it from dying. Putrid Leech for a black and a green. It's a 2/2 zombie leech. Whenever you pay 2 life, you can give it +2/+2 until end of turn, but you can only do it once a turn. So if you could give it vigilance, it'll block as a 4/4, but any other time, you could just pay 2 life to make it a 4/4 when it attacks. Stone-Eyed Drake for 2, a hybrid blue, red, and a black. You get a zombie drake that's a 3/1 and it has flying and haste. So it's pretty good for a zombie flyer. Not compared to the ones nowadays, but you never know. Rexus Sojourners. I think I said that right. For 1, a blue, a black, and a red. It's a 4/3 zombie ogre. Whenever you cycle it or it's put into a graveyard from play, you may remove target card in a graveyard from the game. And it also has cycling for a 2 and a black, kind of like the Unearth ability. Hessian zombies. I don't know how to pronounce that because that J is the J or the H silent. Let me know in the comments. I kind of want to know. So for 4, a blue and a black for a 2/4 zombie, it's pretty hefty cost there. It has fear. Or you can island cycle or swamp cycle, so you can get one of the ones you're missing, which is pretty utility. Sometimes we have Jump Home Polluter. He's not actually used sometimes as an actual creature. He's more used for his cycling ability. Necromancer for 1, a black and a red. It's a 2/2 zombie wizard. When it comes into play, it deals damage to target player equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. So if you got a play group that's playing heavy and non-basics, you can just dome somebody real hard for not playing their basics. And it also has Unearth for 5, a black and a red. Marrow Chomper for 3, a black and a green. It's a zombie lizard that's a 3/3 and has Devour too. This is the first time we've seen Devour in a minute. But Devour is, when it comes into play, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This creature comes into play with twice that many +1/+1 counters on it. So if you devour 4 creatures, 4 little zombie tokens, it gets 8 +1/+1 counters. When Marrow Chomper comes into play, you may gain 2 life for each creature it devoured. So you're also getting the life gain off of it too. So that's pretty utility if you're looking to gain a little bit of life from sacking all of your tokens. Lynch, Lord of Unks for 1, a blue and a black. It's a 2/2 creature zombie wizard. A lot of zombie wizards. For a blue and a black, and you can tap it and make a blue-black zombie wizard creature token. And for double blue and double black, you can have target player lose X life and put X cards of his or her library into their graveyard, where X is the number of zombies you control. So if you're swarming out and you have a way to activate this multiple times, like say you've made infinite mana with Gravecrawler or something, you can essentially just mill out your opponents if you have enough zombies. Just doing it over and over again. Lightning Reaver. We're getting into some more of the rares. For 3, a black and a red, it's a 3/3 zombie beast with fear and haste. So you can swing with it as soon as it comes out, which I'd hope so, since it's 5 mana for a 3/3. But whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a charge counter on Lightning Reaver. At the end of your turn, Lightning Reaver deals damage equal to the number of charge counters on it, equal to each player. So if you could find a way to get this through multiple times, eventually you're just going to end up doming your opponents for a bunch. Here's a piece that I enjoy a lot. Deathbringer Thoktar, however you want to pronounce it. 4, a black and a red for a 3/3 zombie beast. Whenever another creature you control is put into a graveyard from play, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Deathbringer Thoktar. Remove a counter from it. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So something I've recently got into is using this as like say you have the Gravecrawler Phyrexian Altar. Well, considering that creature dies and it doesn't say non-token, you can essentially sack, run your loop, and you can cause your opponents, you can just run your loop, and you don't even have to have like a really good thing, you don't have to be making extra zombies, or you don't have to be, you could just be sacking the Gravecrawler infinitely and bringing it back, and then you can just remove all the counters from it. It's kind of like a Aether Flux Reservoir, but it's like a Death or Flux Thoktar. That's so horrible, but I like it. Anyways, yeah, I've really gotten a little attached to the Deathbringer. And then we have Thraxamundar. This would be your favorite Grixis zombie if you wanted a zombie commander. For 4, a blue, a black, and a red, we get a legendary zombie assassin. For 6, it's a 6/6 with haste. And whenever it attacks, defending player sacrifices a creature. And whenever a player sacrifices a creature, you may put a counter on Thraxamundar. Notice that it says defending player sacrifices a creature, but the second ability says whenever a player sacrifices a creature. So if you're running your, like I said, your Gravecrawler loop or some kind of loop to where you can just sack infinitely, you can make him infinitely big. And then we have our zombie affiliate cards. Unscythe, the Killer of Kings, for a black, 2 black, a blue, and a red. You get a legendary artifact equipment. An equipped creature gets +3/+3. It has first strike. Underneath that, it says whenever a creature dealt damage by the equipped creature this turn is put into a graveyard, you may remove that card from the game. If you do, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token into play, and it equips for 2. So to me, that exclusive mana cost of double black, a blue, and a red, you definitely gonna probably play Grixis with this. You could almost actually use Thrax and put it on Thrax to increase your chances of still going and making more creatures. Necromancer's Covenant for 3, a white, and 2 black. It's an enchantment that says whenever it comes into play, remove all creature cards in target player's graveyard from the game. Then put a 2/2 black zombie creature token into play for each card removed this way. Then zombies you control have lifelink. Now, I don't know about you, but this art is like super grisly. It's like all kinds of just zombies literally coming out of the floorboards. And that's just awesome to me. But alright guys, that's going to be it for today. I appreciate y'all stopping and taking this trip down memory lane and digging up the past with me. If this is content you like and you want to see more, just let me know. Leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you want to see more. And if you have any ideas for videos you guys want to see for the channel, just leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.